Shakti Tatratvita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Dirtaivam Vitrisham Mihajani Nanuragaha Pranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi Nadalam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhakti Rahaitu Tvai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Va Vishame Bhavam Budau Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Stita Dhulim Sadrasham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadasrudharaya Vadanam Gadgada Ruttaya Gira Pulakairnichitam Vapu Kada Tava Nama Grahane Bhavishyati Yugayitam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravrishayitam Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashlishya Va Padaratam Pinashtu Mam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotu Va Yata Tata Va Vidatatu Lampato Mat Prananatastu Sa Eva Na Paraha. Translations. Glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sankirtanam, congregational chanting of the Lord's holy name, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. That Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are all anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Now I would like to read the 10 references to the holy name given by Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures and persons to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to the next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी प्रसाद हरे कृष्ण and whoever Ekadasi, happy Ekadasi to you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय This is Arvind Akstar from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindas Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devadasi from College Station, Texas. Happy Ekadasi to everyone. Mataji, a small request to everyone. My father is going for a knee surgery. He's just done with the knee surgery for 2 legs, Mataji. He's in a pain. I request everybody to please chant for him one time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call and wonderful services you are rendering, and also to encouraging all of us, and a heartfelt prayer to your father. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Happy Ekadasi, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devdasi from Charlotte. And Mataji prayers for Vinita Gandharvika Mataji's daughter. May he get good surgery and fast recovery. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mata ji. This Ekadashi is today or tomorrow?
But Chicago, I think today.
Chicago today?
Chicago is tomorrow, Mataji.
Yeah, because Chicago
Tomorrow.
calendar says tomorrow.
Yes, it is tomorrow, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mata ji. Hare Krishna.
Some areas of Midwest have it today.
For Houston and Dallas, it's today. So, yeah.
Oh,
In India also, it's tomorrow.
okay.
Hare Krishna Vasudha Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Vijay, Vrinda from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay. Is there anyone who would like to introduce in the call today?
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karuna Devidasi. Wishing few of you who are in this Midwest area a very happy Ekadashi, and praying for Vinita Gandharvika Mataji's father's successful surgery and good recovery, back to good health. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Texas, wishing everyone a happy Ekadashi and praying for Vinita Gandharvika Mataji's father for good surgery and fast recovery, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay. I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's conference call. We are fortunate to have His Grace Arjun Ishwar Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Mataji for the brief introduction on Prabhuji. Okay.
Sundarangi Mataji got dropped off.
Okay. Do we have the introduction, Mataji?
We'll send it, Mataji. We'll look.
Sorry, Mataji, my phone is gone bad. I cannot access. Otherwise, I could send it quickly. Yeah. I think in the Mataji will send.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Bhagavad. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna. Praise to Nita Gandharvika Mataji's father. And a very happy Ekadashi to those who are celebrating today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Don't know you do it so quickly, Vinita Mataji. I'm just struggling to find it.
Mataji, sorry. Today only my web WhatsApp also is gone. Yes, until yesterday it was working. Somehow I was managing, but today it is gone. That
Okay, I got it, Mataji.
you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji sent it. Sundarangi Mataji.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So I can read. Prabhuji is currently serving at ISKCON NVCC Pune. Yeah. His Grace Arjun Ishwar Prabhuji is serving at ISKCON NVCC Pune as full-time celibate from 2012. He got a connection with ISKCON in 2007. He has worked as a software engineer at Tata, CMC, and security automation engineer at Reliance Group Support Services. He has been a good teacher and a trainer for youths in the matter of spiritual teachings and practices, respectively. For youths and corporates, he conducts regular courses based on teachings of Bhagavad Gita, namely Discover Yourself, Gita for All Made Easy, Leadership Sutra, Hard Facts, etc. He had been a spiritual mentor and caregiver to youths of RVC and PESIT College in Bangalore for almost 3 years. In Pune, he has been running a corporate center where 15 to 20 corporates would get regular spiritual, managerial, and leadership training and education. For last 2 years, he has been actively involved as a value education teacher for children from age 10 to 15. He regularly conducts classes, namely e-Gurukul and values of life for school children. Along with his value education team, for last 10 years, he has been conducting value education contests at various schools of India. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all your services. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. We are today really fortunate to hear from you on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Over to you, Prabhuji.
We have till 24 sloka, na?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, chapter 2, entitled The Dynasty of the Son of Manu. Text 18 onwards till 24 will be completing. So, वसो प्रतीकस्तत्पुत्र ओघवान् ओघवत्पिता कन्या चौघमती नाम सुदर्शन उवाहताम्. The son of Vasu was Pratika, Pratik, whose son was Ogvan. Ogvan's son was also known as Ogvan. So father is also Ogvan and son is also Ogvan. And his daughter was Oghavati. Sudarshan married that daughter. चित्रसेनो नरिष्यान् यन्ताद् रिक्षस्तस्य सुतो अभवत् तस्य मिधवांस्ततः पूर्णा इंद्रसेनस्तु तत्सुतः. From Narishyanta came a son named Chitrasen, and from him a son named Riksha. From Riksha came Midhavan, from Midhavan came Purna, and from Purna came Indrasen. वितिहोत्रस्त्व इंद्रसेना तस्य सत्यस्रवा अभूत् पुरुश्रवा सुतस्तस्य देवदत्तस्ततो अभवत्. From Indrasen came Vitihotra. From Vitihotra came Satyashrava. From Satyashrava came the son named Urushrava, and from Urushrava came Devadatta. ततो अग्निवेश्यो भगवान् अग्निः ततो अग्निवेश्यो भगवान् अग्नि स्वयं अभूत् सुत कानीन इति विख्यातो विख्यातो जातु कर्ण्यो महान् ऋषिः. From Devadatta came a son known as Agniveshya, who was the fire god Agni himself. This son, who was a celebrated saint, was well known as Kanin Jatu Karnya. ततो ब्रह्मकुलं जातम् अग्निवेश्याननं नृप नरिष्यन्तान्वयः नरिष्यांतान्वयः प्रोक्तो दिष्टवंसम् अतः शृणु. O king, from Agniveshya came a Brahminical dynasty known as Agniveshyanana. Now that I have described the descendant of Narishyanta, let me describe the descendant of Dishta. Please hear from me. Nabhago Dishtaputro Anyaha Karmana Vaishyatam Gata Bhalandana Sutastasya Vatsapritir Bhalandana Vatsaprite Sutah Ramstu Tatsutam Pramatim Vidu Khanitram Pramaitesh Tasmat Chakshusho Ata Biming Shatihi. Dishta had a son by the name Nabhaga. This Nabhaga, who was different from Nabhag described later, became a Vaishya by occupational duty. The son of Nabhag was known as Bhalandana. The son of Bhalandana was Vatsapriti, and his son was Pramashu. Pramasu's son was Pramati. Pramati's son was Khanitra. Khanitra's son was Chakshushu, and his son was Bibhismat. Bivimsati. Bivimsati. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This confirms the statement by Narad Muni, Yasya yal lakshanam proktam pumso varnabhiyanjakam 7.1135. One should always remember that Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas should never be regarded as members of a caste by birth. A Brahmana may be changed into a Kshatriya and a Kshatriya into a Brahmana. Similarly, a Brahmana or Kshatriya may be changed into a Vaishya, and a Vaishya into a Brahmana or Kshatriya. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Sishtam Gunakaram Vibhagasa. Bhagavad Gita 4.13. So, one is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya, never by birth, but by quality. There is a great need of Brahmanas. Therefore, in the Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to train some Brahmanas to guide human society. Because at present there is a scarcity of Brahmanas, the brain of human society is lost. Because practically everyone is a Sudra. No one at the present moment can guide the members of society to the proper path by which to achieve perfection in life. Okay. Hare Krishna. So, this is a very hot topic in ISKCON also, going on since many years, about Varnashrama. As we are seeing the dynasty of the Vaivasvat Manu king, so then he had 10 sons. So some sons became Brahmana, some sons means their son's son, their dynasty further guided by others. Means some became Brahmana, some became Kshatriya, some became Vaishya. So that was there. I think let me tell you the who became what. So he had 10 sons like Ikshvaku, Nriga, Saryati, Dhishta, Drishta. Dhishta and Drishta are different. Karusha, Narishyanta, Prisudha, Nabhaga, and Kavi. So we are seeing here Dishta we saw just now. Dishta and Dishta you must have heard before. Karusha also you heard. Karusha. So this Karusha, his children became Kshatriya. So then that Karusha dynasty started. Then Drishta, his sons became Brahmana. Though the Drishta is also his son of Vaivasvat Manu, which we are reading now. He has 10 children. So Drishta was a Kshatriya born from Vaivasvat Manu. So his son should be Kshatriya, but his son did not become Kshatriya, his sons became Brahmanas. And Nabhaga, who is again mentioned. Now this Nabhaga is a son of Dhishta. You see, the Dhishta son is Drishta and Dhishta, two different. So this Drishta son is Nabhaga. No, sorry, Dishta. Dishta son is Nabhaga. So this Nabhaga is a Vaishya. And later the Nabhaga is the son directly of this Vaivasvat Manu. So he then gives birth to Amrish Maharaj. So we know the story of Amrish Maharaj. So these two Nabhaga is different. One is direct son of Vaivasvat Manu and another is a grandson of Vaivasvat Manu. Okay? So we are discussing about grandson here. The grandson was Vaishya. So, and then Drishta's son became Brahmanas and Karusa's son became Kshatriya. So therefore Prabhupada writes here, there are three kinds of dynasty later proceeded from the sons of Swayambhu Manu, Vaivasvat Manu. So Prabhupada is a very much confident and he used to give a lot of emphasis upon this point, and there was a lot of fight also in Vrindavan and caste Goswamis regarding this. His Guru Maharaj also fought this battle of arguments or some politics where Prabhupada wanted to make people Brahmanas. Prabhupada was picking up some good people who are ready to follow the Krishna conscious guidelines and life. So then Prabhupada was giving them opportunity to become Brahmana, Pancharatriki Brahmana, that is called. By initiation through Pancharatra, one can become Brahmana. But then he should follow the spiritual master. He should follow the guideline of scriptures and a spiritual master. So then these Brahmanas, caste Goswamis, they were saying, how can you make anyone as Brahmana? So long discussion, long fight. Even some people wanted to kill Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj because he was too much oppressive, or he was very, very strong on this point. Like they were too much orthodox. He was also very strong in introducing the real culture of Vedas. Real Vedic culture is anyone can become Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya by training. So anyone, you see, this is not again anyone, means if one can develop those qualities, he can become. So we don't say that anyone can become. If he's ready for and he's trying, then it is possible that he can become. Okay? It's not that everyone can become. It is not like that. So ISKCON society, Prabhupada started in West, and he had a goal. He was saying from beginning, I wanted to pick up some Brahmanas and Brahmanas and Sannyasis so that they can guide the whole world. It means the ISKCON is meant for creating leaders in the society. At the same time, as the days passed, the Prabhupada also saw that even his devotees also, to whom he was training, they were also not able to keep up the rules regulation of Krishna consciousness. They were also falling down. Some were sannyasis, but they were falling down because of illicit connections. So the Prabhupada's who said that actually, unless one is a Brahmana, he cannot be a sannyasi. So first one should be Brahmana. Brahmana means samodamo tapah saucham. So all these qualities should be there. So how can he lose the control of his senses? So therefore, Prabhupada said that you are not able to follow, so I have to establish Varnashrama. Varnashrama means one should be first trained as a proper Brahmana, and then later, as he follows the ashram of Brahmachari, Grihastha, Banprastha, Sannyas, or directly from Brahmachari to Sannyas, then one will be going to that ashrama of Sannyas. So, Varnashrama institution, as is mentioned here, Yasya Lakshanam Proktam. Yasya Yal Lakshanam Proktam Pumsho Varna Abhiyanjikam. According to symptom, one should be credited as a Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now, how these symptoms will come? By training. Very, very important, by training. So, Prabhupada's emphasis was that as we are opening colleges to train engineers, to train doctors, to train different skilled persons, in a similar way, government should open colleges to make Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishya, Shudras. This is scientific. We have heard many times our body mainly divided in 4 parts. So the head part is Brahmana, intelligence. The hand part is Kshatriya, martial, protection, fighting. And the stomach part is eating, production of energy, production of food. And the leg part is work, labor. So our body has a 4 division. This is scientific division. So therefore, Krishna has very scientifically, and even these 4 divisions are also coming from Virat Purusha. Virat Purusha, so then his head, from head came Brahmanas, and then from his hand came Kshatriya. So this is a quite evident that this is a quite scientific, because it is coming from the origin of creation. And therefore Krishna says, Chatur Varna Maya Srishtam. I have created this Chatur Varna. It's not artificial, it's a scientific, and it's a natural. So as the body has 4 divisions naturally, in the similar way, the society, which is a body, where all people are living, and they should be divided among these 4 categories. Very, very important actually. Now somebody can say it's not possible, or it's very difficult. Actually, difficult can be there if we want to immediately see the result. But if we have a plan and if we try to follow, then gradually it can come. As we have degraded gradually, we can also improve gradually. It is possible. So, but somewhere it should begin. The whole process should begin. So it is very, very important that now sometimes whether Varnashram is required or it can be done without also. One can grow in devotional service. Yes, very Varnashram is not absolute necessity that one has to go through Varnashrama, then only one can become devotee. No, bhakti can be practiced by anyone. Okay, this is one thing. But at the same time, Varnashram is not required for when it's a support for a person to get situated in pure bhakti. It is not required to practice bhakti while one is in pure devotional service. Once one is situated in pure devotional service, then this is not required. That this is required that time only to set an example for society. But until then, one is situated in pure devotional service, one requires to follow the qualities. Okay. So how, as you have all gone through the chapters, earlier 7th canto, so I will just show you this. Now you see here Narad Muni in the perfect society, 4 social classes. So he mentions all these 30 qualities. Satyam, daya, tapa, saucham, titiksha, tamodama, ahimsa, brahmacharya, cha, yagah, swadhyaya, arjam, santosah, samdrika, sheva, gramye, o paramashane, nirnam, viparya, he, eksha, maunam, atma, vimarshanam, अन्याद्याद्ये samvibhago bhuteshascha yatha arhata. So like this, these are 30 quality. What are the meanings of this 30 quality? We can see little. Now just see. Truthfulness. Prabhupada, so he they translate here truthfulness. So that is, what is that? Satyam. Satyam, daya, tapaha, socha. This we clearly understand. Huh? Okay. Austerity, mercy, observing fast on certain days of a month, bathing twice a day, tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong, control of mind, control of senses, non-violence, celibacy, charity, reading of scripture, simplicity, satisfaction, rendering service to saintly persons, gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements, observing the futility of unnecessary activities of human society, remaining silent and grave, avoiding unnecessary talk, considering whether one is body or soul, distributing food equally to living entities, both men and animals, seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as a part of the Supreme Lord, hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, chanting about these activities and instructions, always remembering these activities and instructions, trying to render service, performing worship, offering obeisances, becoming servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. O King Yudhishthir, these 30 quality must be acquired in human form of life. Simply by acquiring this quality, one can satisfy the Lord. Okay. Now, what Prabhupada writes here. So, how to make distinction between animal and human? The Narada Muni here gives the 30 qualities, qualification, 30 things. So, if the people are trained, then they can be distinguished as a human. Nowadays, there is propaganda everywhere that over the world that a secular state, a state interested only in mundane activity. But if the citizens of the state are not educated in above mentioned qualities, how can there be happiness? The first thing the question comes of happiness. So happiness is coming because of qualities. Yes. So by following the good qualities, the happiness is generated. One thing. For example, if the total populace is untruthful, how there can be happiness? Very simple. If people are speaking lie, how we can trust and how we can have faith in anything, and our mind will always be calculating or always disturbed. Therefore, without consideration of one's belonging to sectarian religion, everyone should be taught to become truthful. Everyone should be taught to become truthful. Similarly, everyone should be taught to become merciful. Everyone should be observed fast on certain days of month. Everyone should bathe twice, cleanse his teeth, cleanse the mind by remembering the holy name. The Lord is one. Whether he's a Hindu, Muslim, or Christian. Therefore, one should chant the holy name. And then it's also mentioned yes. Also, everyone should be taught to very careful not to discharge semen unnecessarily. This is very important. If semen is not discharged unnecessarily, one becomes extremely strong in memory, determination, activities, and then vitality of one's bodily energy. Everyone should be taught to be simple in thought, feeling, and satisfied in body and mind. These are journal qualifications of human being. And there is no question of secular state or an ecclesiastical state. Unless one is educated in above for 30 qualities, there can be no peace. Okay? So now Sarvanam Kirtanam also in this mention. If you see the 30 qualities, Sarvanam Kirtanam also is mentioned. Okay. And then Prabhupada says, therefore everybody should take to Krishna conscious process, and all the qualities will develop. Okay. Now, very, very important, the human society should be taught. Now, somebody can say you are ISKCON people. Okay, you don't learn from us. But everybody should be taught this truthfulness, mercy, austerity. Everybody should be taught. This should be the education syllabus. Education syllabus, this should be this should be. Now, after getting these qualities or convinced with these qualities, then one can come into Varnashrama. Then it is mentioned here, next sloka. What is sloka? Samskara yatra abhichinna sa dvijo अजो जगाद यम इज्जया अध्ययन दानानि विहितानि द्विजन मनाम जन्म कर्मा वदाता नाम क्रियाश्चा सम्मा चोदिता. Now, those who have been reformed by Garbhadan ceremony and other prescribed reformatory methods performed with the Vedic mantras without interruption, and who have been approved by Lord Brahma are Dvijas, or twice born. Such Brahmanas, Kshatriya, Vaishyas are purified by their family tradition and by their behaviors, should worship the Lord, study the Vedas, give charity. In this system, one should follow the principle of Varnashrama. Now, after giving a general list of 30 qualifications for one's behavior, Narad Muni now describes the principle of 4 Varna and Ashrama. A human being first must be trained in above 30 qualities, otherwise he is not a human being. Then among such qualified persons, the Varnashrama process should be introduced. When one is qualified with 30 qualities, then they can be called for Varnashrama. Ajo. Because Sudra does not have any training. So Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they have training. Sudra means Janmana Jayate Sudra. Once he is born, he is Sudra only. Okay. So maximum people should be trained in this 30 qualities. Then is mentioned Prabhupada, among such qualified persons, the Varnashram process should be introduced. So Varnashram process you cannot introduce if the people are very at low scale, they have no quality, because they will oppose always. What is this? What you are putting this thing, that thing. Now, in the Varnashram system, the first ceremony for purification is Garbhadhan, which is performed with the mantra at the time of the sex for propagating a good child. One who uses sex life not for sensual pleasure but only to beget children according to the reformatory process is accepted as a brahmachari. So even a grahastha is a brahmachari if he does not enjoy sex just for pleasure. He is only enjoying sex for creating children, begetting children. One should not waste semen on sensual pleasure, violating the principle of Vedic life. Restraint in sex is possible, however, only when the populace is trained in above mentioned 30 qualities. Just see, now here is mentioned. How can sex restraint is possible? When these 30 qualities which are mentioned above, people are following, and then they come to Varnashrama, which begins with Garbhadhan Samskar. So they will follow this sex restraint also. But if they're not trained in 30 qualities, they're directly jumping here. The same thing applies for bhakti also. If these qualities are not there, see, bhakti, if one is very sincere and spiritual master says you follow this, so he will follow. But most of the people, they are quite away from spiritual master and they just understand bhakti means with certain tips only. You do this thing, you do this thing, but that is bhakti, complete bhakti. So, and also it takes good amount of time in devotional service to produce qualities. It's not that just by chanting the first day only quality comes, or after some years qualities comes. No, it does not come like that. It comes after one gets situated very solidly in bhakti. So therefore, till that time one should be trained in these qualities. Specifically trained. Very, very important. So the restraint in sex is possible when one is trained in 30 qualities mentioned above. Otherwise, it is not possible, Prabhupada is saying. Otherwise, not possible. It means before coming to Varnashrama, there is some probation, there is some preliminary qualification required. Who can be entered into a school of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya? Otherwise, they will not follow. They will simply manipulate or misutilize or whatever. Even if one is born in a family of Dvija, if they have not followed the reformatory process, he is called Dvija Bandhu. Now, this is another thing. If somebody is born in a Brahman family, but he has not followed the system of Varnashrama, this Garbhadan Sanskar has not happened. So, he is called Dvija Bandhu or Brahma Bandhu. He is not taken as a Brahmana. So strictness, first 30 quality should be there. Okay, 30 quality done. Now he has become Brahmana. Okay, he has come to the Brahmana school. But again, he did not do the sanskar only. So then he is not accepted only. He is again called. Therefore, you find in our scriptures, very easily people can say, hey, he is a Brahma Bandhu. Hey, he is a Kshatriya Bandhu. He is a Vaishya Bandhu. Like that. Anybody, even though he is a Dvija Bandhu, even though he is born in a good family, but he is still called Bandhu because they have not followed the reformatory processes. Not one of the twice born, but a friend of a twice born. The whole purpose of this system is to create good population. What is the purpose? Whose So Varnashram purpose is what? Now we'll connect everything. So Varnashrama is elevating the standard of human beings because ultimately to serve Lord Vishnu, Atah Pumbir Duja Sreshta, Varnashram Vibhagasa, Sanushtasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So Prabhupada also mentions in the first canto, third chapter, some 44 sloka, that unless one is pure in one's habits, he's not pure in action. Unless he's pure in action, he's not pure in his mind. And unless he's pure in mind, he cannot he cannot hear rapt with rapt attention Srimad Bhagavatam. So it means what? Prabhupada is also making a gradation here. How we are going up to hear Srimad, because hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is a solution with a rapt attention, solution for the conditioned soul to get relief from material world. But he's not able to hear only. Why? Because he's not doing the basic things required for that. So the hearing, and again Prabhupada also adds, but even though somebody tries to hear with rapt attention, then some effect will come. Means effect will come. So even though he tries, even he has not become pure all this way. So that is also there. But when we are discussing about scientific society, where there should be like, it's not that everybody who studies will get job. Those who do not study can also get some job. But when we want to talk about a good society, we will create a process of education. First class, second class, third class, then fifth, seventh, eighth. So like that. So that is a scientific division should be there. So here it's mentioned good population. So the purpose of system. So unless one is gone through samskaras of Varnashrama, he will not be able to do his duty properly as a proper Brahmana, Kshatriya. Therefore, it's mentioned Ata Pumir Duja Sreshta Varnashram Vibhaga Samshutasya Dharma. Means his dharma is there, Brahmana, some activity is there. He has to be truthful, he has to be controlling his senses. So his duties are there. So Sanushitasya means he is able to perform his duty properly. Only he will be able to properly perform when he is properly reformed in a Varnashram process. And then when he performs, then he can please Lord Vishnu. The whole thing is connected. First 30 quality, then Garbhadhan should happen. And then all informative 16 sanskaras. So then what happens? So then this person becomes qualified to follow his duties properly as a Kshatriya, as a Brahmana. He will not deviate from dharma because he already been quite trained beforehand and also in Varnashrama system. And so he can be a very nice devotee. We can see his qualities. Means the people can take inspiration immediately. Even though he's not a pure devotee also, even he's doing devotional service, one can take lessons from him because he is having qualities in Sattva and is also practicing devotional service. So that is a benefit actually. Now, if now we have 50 years have happened in ISKCON, more than 50 years. And surely we are doing many good things, but we are not able to see a drastic change in the qualities. So surely many have come to Sattva, but the whole thing is Sama, Dama, Tapa, Saucham. This thing should be so strongly followed that we should understand my guna or my varna is this only. I have to do tapasya, I have to do this thing. This should be strongly there actually. Like Prabhupada is mentioning 2 times bath, one should not waste time. So first education should be very strongly focused upon these things, qualities, develop qualities, and then have samskaras. And along with that, again, teach the bhakti also. But if you just only teach this, only if you have do bhakti and then you'll get all the qualities, then people will take the advantage of it. Means they will do bhakti little and they will use they will live in their own life, and then they will say bhakti is not producing any quality one. Because if you want to produce quality from bhakti, then Anna Abhilasita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulenu Krishna Anusilanam. Anu means 24 hours Silanam. Anukul in favorable attitude, bina without any personal motivation, anya abhilasita, and then his work and his intention and everything, his work and everything should not be covered with the jnana and karma. So many qualifiers are there when one is engaging in bhakti to become uttama bhakta. Yes. So then this quality comes later. So, but before that, a person has to practice this quality and develop himself in those qualities. That's why Varnasam is a stepping stone, or it's a supporting system for helping us to advance in bhakti. Now, in 16th chapter of Gita, you find I think there are so many qualities, 20 qualities are mentioned. Abhayam, Sattva, Samsuddhi, Jnana, Yoga, Vyavasthiti. So there Prabhupada says that these qualities are from different varnas, and these qualities help one person to advance towards the path of liberation. So they are qualities of varnashram actually. So now these qualities help one to advance towards liberation. And that is the goal of Varnashram. The ultimate liberation is to serve Lord Vishnu or to serve Lord Krishna. That's why people cannot jump directly to Shuddha Bhakti. They will fall down. Some can go, not all. So they need a small steps in the stairs to go above. Developing qualities, following things very clearly, and then they will be able to also and they also simultaneously doing the bhakti. So they can easily see that what is bhakti, what is these qualities, and how I have to keep the bhakti always higher according to because the faith in bhakti should be higher always, even though higher, but still one has to follow those qualities. So for us, it's not that we have to first become Brahmana, Kshatriya, then later we become Vaishnava. No, as a Vaishnava, when we have to follow this system, Prabhupada said many times, we have to follow in that way to set an example for our own self and for others. That I'm a Brahmana, I should follow. I'm a Kshatriya, I should follow. I'm Vaishya, I should follow like that. So like that. Just to see. So good population will be created when there will be good samskaras in parents. And the parents should also have all 30 qualities. And they should have done the reformatory processes. Then good population. Very clear. There is no doubt here. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, when women are polluted, the populace is Varna Sankar. And when the Varna Sankar population increases, the situation of the world becomes hellish. Therefore, all the Vedic literature strongly warns against the creating Varna Sankar population. When there is Varna Sankar population, the people cannot be properly controlled for peace and prosperity, regardless of great legislative assemblies, parliaments, and similar bodies. Howsoever rules you may make, howsoever institutes you may make, unless people are trained to produce good population, or unless the number of Varna Sankar are decreased, because these people will never listen. As you are seeing, we all have experience now. Now you cannot slap, because now the government has made the system. You cannot slap your child. This is same thing, because these children will do tantrum. They will say, I don't care for you. Even though you're my parents or my teacher, I don't care for you. I will show something else. And I will go to government, I will report against you. So they mostly they have quality of Varna Sankara. They are not meant to support the cause of Varnashrama or understand the real love of parents. They are disciplining me, I should listen to them. So they don't have that quality only. They will be against their parents also. So this is a problem. You cannot train them only. Now, if in the birth only you cannot train them, what to speak of when they grow up? When they grow, the government will say this rule, that rule. They will become frustrated and they will shoot somebody here and there. They will shoot themselves also. But before that, they will kill many. So there is no question of improving Varna Sankar population after they are born. Very difficult. So it's better, therefore, one has to start from beginning, Garbhadan Sanskar, and before that 30 qualities will be developed. So these things. Now, yes. So Varnashrama, as it starts, Prabhupada says, beginning of actual human life. Where is the brahmachari system? So first is brahmacharya. We know that Grihastha, Ban, and then Banprasth. So good. So why this Varnashram was there? So one thing we saw, good population and service to Lord Vishnu. People should do their dharma properly. So create good citizen in this world and take them to self-realization in the next world. So for both purpose, happy citizenship, happy life here, and eternal life after this. Prabhupada mentions in the 9th chapter of first canto, there was a Bhishma Dev before when Yudhishthir asked him question. So there also Prabhupada mentions Bhishma Dev mentions the 9 qualification for every human being. Like one should not be angry, one should not lie, one should distribute his wealth equally, as you are seeing here. Same thing Narad Muni is saying. One should forgive others. One should beget children only by his legitimate wife, and one should be pure in mind and body. One should not be inimical to anyone. One should be simple. One should support one's servant and subordinates. If one cannot be called a civilized person without acquiring these qualities. So there also Bhishma Dev mentions in Mahabharata. So there is when somebody is called human, it means he should have these qualities. Then he can be called human. Otherwise, there is no question of advancement just for you can say country's sake. Like if one is born in certain country, oh, I am very much advanced. Or one is born in Brahman family is not said to be Brahmana unless he has a qualification. So in the similar way, humanity needs qualification to be called as human first. So, and Varnashramas, another purpose was like nowadays we see that people till the fag end of their life, they are into the same position. They do not retire from their family life. They do not retire from the political post. They are at same place. The old people are becoming the political leaders, where they should go into pilgrim, chant the names of God, perfect their lives, but they are taking post at the fag end of their life. So this is another, you can say, anarchy or misarrangement of life. Where they should do what they are not knowing only. This is another thing. Then, yeah. Prabhupada said, as in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that at the time of death, one should remember God. So then one can get a body like God. Or one should have higher understanding. One should not be simply dying like cat and dog, Prabhupada said. So, Antakale cha Mamismaran Mukta Kalevaram. So this body, what we have got because we have aspired something at the time of death in previous life. So that aspiration has to be changed in this life. Okay, right now I have got the body. Now what training I am getting throughout my life to change my aspiration at the time of death? So for that also Varnashram training helps because the whole life is training is given. And so then Prabhupada was very much, and then Prabhupada mentions this somewhere here that the highest benefit that can be awarded to human being is to train them to be detached from sex life, particularly because it is the only sex indulgence that the conditioned life of material existence continues birth after birth. So at this also Prabhupada says at other place, the Varnashramas actually is controlling sex, controlling senses. So the first ashram in Varnashrama is Varmachari ashrama. Why it is that? Because he also mentions that so brahmacharis, their goal is to control the senses, jitendriya. So he has to learn to be jitendriya. When he shifts to Grahastha ashram, so then he continues. He uses his senses only for right purpose. And then because he has been trained as a brahmachari, so he will quit Grahastha ashram also after certain time because he has been trained. And then he will become Banprastha. And then later sannyas. So this is the another purpose. So in the 4 ashrama, 3 ashramas are not touching sex. So Prabhupada mentions therefore Varnashrama, where the 75% is without sex and only 25% of Varnashrama is allowing sex, and that also regulated sex life. So therefore the whole institution is to train a human being to get released from this material world, which is because of Maithun Agar, the cycle of sex life, which is holding everyone in this world. So that training has to be very strongly inserted, that why we are following also this. Nowadays you find is there people are opening schools also, girls and boys together. And what is this? Sometimes devotees also doing like that. They are doing it. But actually we should be very clear. If you think, okay, no, okay, let them be together, let them learn Krishna consciousness. It does not happen like that. When we were children, we also had attachment for opposite gender. So right now, because we have grown up in age, so we may not immediately feel the same kind of understanding what we had earlier. But we should have a faith in scriptures. If you bring fire and butter together, it will melt. Even if you keep the butter for millions of years in the fridge, but if it comes near fire, it melts. So the urdhrata, the boys, they should be highly determined. They should be highly vichara sakti, sankalpa sakti, dharana sakti. So these all strong in their mind, in their willpower, in their determination, in their memory. It should be there. So they should not be disturbed in their growing age. So they should be separated immediately. Otherwise, he is confused. He is thinking, I should have girlfriend or not. Oh, he has girlfriend, I should also have. Why this confusion is there? And there is no proper also, even if sometimes I find devotees also not training their wards in that understanding that you should not be playing too much. Your age is not to play with the opposite gender right now. You should be separate right now, because if you become separate, then you can focus on spiritual life. You can focus on cultivating good qualities, because this is what Varnashrama is focusing. If Varnashrama is so strict about brahmacharya, throughout grahastha ashram also brahmacharya has to be followed, then how can we mingle because because of sentiment? Okay, no problem, we have girls, and many devotees have some have boys children, we have girl children, so okay, we cannot open other school, so okay, mix them all together. Okay, you mix them, you make a khichdi, then tomorrow you'll find a khichdi only, and then don't cry later that okay, what has happened now. So the system is already degrading, and we devotees, Prabhupada wanted that the leadership should be created. ISKCON is for leadership. So if leaders only is following sub-standards, what to speak of setting example for the world? And it's not that it is too much suppressed upon us. It is our own sentiments actually, because we ourselves has not been trained in that way. So we think we also are devotees, so they can also be devotee. So this is not good actually. So the boy and girl should be separated actually. They should be taught separately. At other place, Prabhupada says co-education is not a problem if the both are married. If the girl and boy both are married, then they can come together and study. But is it happening? That is not happening. So then there is a problem. There is unnecessary agitation of senses. And therefore many boys want to impress the girls. So when they sit together in the class, even for spiritual classes, they just start making pranks. Why? Because they're not serious, because they're thinking they're all the time mind is in that opposite gender only. So it's like that we are disturbing their education because of our sentiment. We should be very clear what is wrong and what is right. Like in India, there's a culture like if in our school time also, if boys goes and talks to a girl, other boys will say, "Hey, what is this? Don't you have shyness? What are you doing? Huh? It's not a culture." So he will feel shy in front of other people. But nowadays it has become so common. People are coming to temple with one girl, one two girl, or girl also coming with boy. So what is the harm here? Because this is a Sudra, this is an animalistic culture. Varnashram says beforehand 30 qualities, and then come to Varnashrama. And Varnashrama starts with Garbhadhan. So important. And then again ashrama is brahmachari. So much strict it is, and still people are thinking we are becoming devotees or they will become devotees. But first teach them basic principles, how to live. That's why they can be distinct between human and animal. So in the country's education, there should be very clear demarcation. If you follow this, this is called human civilized state, and this is called animal system. Whether you are using technology or whatever, you are animal only. Very simple. So otherwise, now we are going to learn now what it will help, how it will help. So Varnashrama, how it will help now. So Prabhupada says that entire world is being governed by unwanted men who have no training in religion, politics, social order, and it is very deplorable condition. Now, because of not having good training in religion, in politics, in social order, the whole world is governed by unwanted people. And when king is, you can say, rogue and rascal, then the citizens will also become rogue and rascal. This is very clear. Jaisa Raja, Vaisa Praja. As the king, as the citizen. So if we have ideal person leading the country or leadership, then the people can be ideal below him. Very, very clear here mentioned. So why the situation has become deplorable? Because there is no proper training. Proper training means then 30 qualities, then Varnashrama, then follow all those things. Human society cannot be happy. Prabhupada says in 4th canto, we need both Krishna consciousness and Varnashrama. Prabhupada says that. Very clear, 4.1420 purport. 4.14.20. He mentions the human society cannot be happy. We need both Krishna consciousness and Varnashrama. What is for Krishna consciousness? What is for Varnashrama? Varnashrama so that I should do my duty properly. And Krishna consciousness that I should cultivate love of Godhead also simultaneously. Krishna consciousness deals mainly with the devotional part. And Varnashrama mainly deals with our material well-being, our order of life, our social order, spiritual order, where are we situated? Like I want to drink milk, I should have a glass first. I cannot drink milk like that. Somebody can say, oh, you go to the cow and just put your mouth down and do the udder and drink. But that is not for everyone. How can I do that? I need a glass. So everybody cannot directly jump to pure devotional service. They need one patrata, patra, by which they can drink the milk. So Varnashrama helps that people to practice bhakti. Now in the 4th canto, this 29th chapter, Prachani section comes. Prachani. So this Prachani, so what he did, he after hearing Puranjan Upakhyan from Narad Muni, he decided that I will immediately leave my kingdom and I will go to forest. I will practice austerity. So now, before you go out of kingdom, you should hand over your all post position to somebody, your children or your sons. He did not wait only. He said to his ministers, I am writing this letter, you give to my children or your sons, they will rule over the country. I am leaving now. So then there is a word comes, this is 429.81, Praja Sarga Abhirakshane. So the king is responsible for protecting the citizens. This is his main duty of king, because Kshatriya means Kshatriya. Kshatraya means one who protects people from any kind of violence, any kind of upsurge or anybody, rogues and thieves are coming and troubling people. So Kshatriya has to protect. So protection is very, very important department of king. Okay. So now the Praja Sarga, all the Prajas should be Abhirakshane. They should be protected. So but now king is leaving. So what is the protection? Prabhupada writes, the Veer Raghav Acharya, he says that such protection means organizing the citizen into the specific division of 4 Varna and Ashramas. It was the responsibility of the royal order to see the citizens were following the regulative principle of 4 Varnas, namely Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and then Brahmachari, Grihastha, Banprastha. It is very difficult to rule citizens in a kingdom without organizing this Varnashrama Dharma. It is very difficult. If somebody is a Brahmana, I can choose and I can guide him. I can give him education, understanding he's a Brahmana, he has a Brahmanical quality. If somebody is Kshatriya, we can pick him up and then train him. Like very simple. If somebody has to go to a great institute, IIT or of knowledge, so then what he should have, he should be first, he should clear the examination of IIT exam and then he should come inside IIT. So IIT does not take anyone inside. In the similar way, which citizen a king should control upon? If the citizens are not listening only, they have no preliminary qualities, then how can king rule upon them? Because king cannot rule upon them like cats and dogs, like we keep some cat and dog. No, they are humans. So they should be dealt with the human. First, they should have qualities of humans. So therefore it's mentioned here, It is very difficult to rule citizens in a kingdom without organizing this Varnashrama Dharma. To rule the mass of citizens in a state and keep them in a complete progressive order is not possible simply by passing laws every year in a legislative assembly. The Varnashrama Dharma is essential in a good government. One class of men, Brahmana, must be intelligent, and then he says one should be administrative, one should be Vaishya, mercantile business, and another simply in a labor. These four classes of men are already there in according to nature, but it is the government's duty to see that all four of these classes follow the principle of their varna methodically. This is called abhirakshane or protection. So protection of citizens means what? To allow them to get trained and also to follow their varna and ashram. So therefore Prabhupada requested government that you open, like you're opening engineering college, you also open Varnashram college, train many people as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. This is very, very important, he mentioned. Yes. Then Prabhupada mentions in 5th canto, 19th chapter, 19th verse, what he mentions. No one is being trained to act according to principle of Varnashrama Dharma, and thus people are becoming increasingly degraded and are heading in the direction of animal life. The real aim of life is liberation, but unfortunately the opportunity for liberation is being denied to people in general, therefore their human lives are being spoiled. And then he says, the Krishna conscious movement, however, is being propagated all over the world to re-establish the Varnashrama Dharma and thus save human society from gliding down to hellish life. So why Krishna conscious society, Prabhupada is saying, is being propagated to re-establish the Varnashrama Dharma so that one should be saved from hellish life. So people are nowadays, you can find people are degrading in their qualities like anything. So then we should not be confused what to be done. Are you very clear? Teach these 30 qualities and introduce them in Varnashrama immediately. वो करना पड़ेगा. That way one has to do. Then in 9th canto, Prabhupada says, good citizenship therefore cannot be enforced. The citizen must be trained. As there are schools and colleges to train students to become chemical engineer, lawyers, there must be schools and colleges to train the student to become Brahmana, Kshatriya, like that. And then without this scientific division, there can be no question of good citizenship. The king, being magnanimous and perfect in his duty, performed many sacrifices and treated citizens as his sons, and citizens being trained in the Varnashrama system were obedient and perfectly ordered. Because they were trained in Varnashrama, they were obedient to the king, they were perfectly ordered. This is important. Now in Madhya Lila, Prabhupada says this thing. Okay. So Prabhupada also says, very nice, this is a lecture, in one place he says, so according to this Varnashrama, there must be training. Some class of men must be trained as nice Brahmana, some people must be trained nice Kshatriya, some people nice Vaishyas, and Sudra does not require any training. Everyone is Sudra, Janmana Jayate Sudra. Then he mentions, how can you expect good government? Sudra government. All the Sudras are taking vote by hook and crook and they are occupying government posts. Therefore, their only business is, in this age of Kali, Malecha Rajana Rupina. Eating and drinking, eating flesh, drinking wine. Malecha Yavana. They are accepting government post. What good government you can expect? Forget. Good government for millions of years you forget. Unless you establish this Varnashrama Dharma, there is no question of good government. Very clear. No good government, no good citizenship. Everybody is a rogues, rascals, and they will never go to back to God. They will spoil their lives and others also. So in this way, Prabhupada, he said to Abhiram Prabhu that my 50% of work has not been done. That is establishing Varnashrama Dharma. Because compassionate Vaishnava, he always sees that every living entity should practice Krishna consciousness. And therefore, he provides a stepping how he can advance. Like Jesus Christ came, he did not give very high principles for people to follow. He just gave them some basic because he understood they are very low people and they should be given actually something, some religious principles should be given. In the similar way, when we are given very, very high, and many are not able to practice, and even outside people, many do not accept many things. So therefore, the general populace should be trained, and they should be given opportunity, they should be given facility for such training, rather than simply giving a training of engineer, doctors, and businessmen. They should be given training for this Varnas, ashramas training very clearly. And then we can say we are humans, and so later we can go for liberation. Because without becoming human, where is the question of liberation actually? Okay, so I will hold here. Yes, stop for today. Yes, any question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances at dust of the lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your today's sessions and teachings. One great takeaway from today's session was about if we have those qualities, we are bound to be happy. And it's very important for us to develop qualities, and we should endeavor for it. Then we can think of Varnashrama, and then there is a whole lot process to become a Vaishnava. It's not going to be easy. But my question to you is, when we preach, we cannot tell the person in front of us, oh, you should have 30 qualities, then this is the flow. And we directly tell them to chant. And then we bombard that the chanting is important, the name is Lord himself. And there is one another kind of perception that, okay, chant and everything will happen. Then how you will preach to those laymans like me who think that, okay, we accept the qualities are important, but how you will preach us that we should develop those qualities as you were teaching us to a new person also?
Okay. So this is very, very important. One thing, without chanting, Varnashrama cannot be established. Harir Nam, Harir Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nastev Gatiranyata. Any process in this, even Vedic processes also we will try to follow, it will fail. So holy name is like our blood. Without blood, I cannot live on. What to speak of qualities? So bhakti, one must have to. It's like somebody in ICU. He is just waiting for some air to go inside body so that he can live. So the Kali Yuga is so degraded age. Even if you teach good quality like Ajamila, he fell down. He got saved by holy name. So this is our first and last everything. So we have to give them this holy name always. Please chant, because after they start chanting, they will start seeing I am lacking in qualities. Then they will come to us, okay, what I should do. Then we can tell them, okay, follow these qualities. Because chanting is very, very important. Because age is so fallen, people are so fallen, they will directly not listen. Even if you say, how many times basically people get convinced to chant holy name, do meditation. But if you just say you follow these qualities, they do not follow actually. And even if they follow, there is no impetus for them why they should follow. Because for that, one should understand about one's own identity, about God's, and then his own dharma. These are the later teachings. The first teaching is we just tell them about God, soul, and then give them chanting. And when they have started chanting, then gradually they will start accepting. This is one thing, the one process. Second thing, if we have established the Varnashrama, then people will directly take to it. And they will also be chanting, and they will also develop qualities. But right now we don't have a system available where we can say that you go to this college and you get trained first year, second year, third year, you become Brahmana. We don't have that system. So we cannot direct them to anywhere. These qualities cannot be developed just by reading. We need to practice these qualities, and Varnashram, by entering into Varnashrama, this quality becomes more and more strengthened. More and more strengthened. So we need a system also to practice. But right now we have system only for Krishna consciousness to practice. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying, without Varnashrama, forget good kings. It means if you do not establish Varnashrama, you cannot penetrate into politics in the world, in the politics, because we can only make good devotees, good temple leaders, good GBCs, but you cannot make king in the world. You cannot make a Brahmana who can guide the whole world unless you establish Varnashrama. It is important. So Varnashrama can help the whole world. And Krishna conscious Prabhupada, as we read, his mission is that. So Krishna conscious highest mission is to give love of Godhead. But Krishna consciousness, this business of creating a stepping stairs where the people can climb and go to that highest love of Godhead. That also we have to do that, even though that is not the ultimate goal or ultimate love of God. That is not bhakti actually, but that is supporting to bhakti. That's supporting to bhakti. Therefore, when we are always worried how the world situation will change, so that will only change when we establish Varnashrama. When you establish Varnashrama, you create a good king, you create a good Brahmana, you create a good Vaishya. People will follow their rules very nicely. Then you can expect good citizen, good king. And if you say that chant holy name, but everybody, when you talk about chanting now, many times people think that they are sectarian, they are telling to follow Krishna. So many times people take these things as a religious preaching. But Varnashrama is also dharma, but it generally makes a person a human first. Be a human first. So then people should take to that. And I feel, and Prabhupada also said, if it is introduced in education, it can easily be taken. The people should be first told, first you become a human. And human definition means you follow these 30 qualities. Very strictly you should follow. And then there should be nice qualities for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and more detailed knowledge should be there. How to practice those things. So we are looking for that system. If that comes, then our preaching becomes very easy for people. If that system is not there, then we can do this thing, what we are doing right now. And that's why you're finding difficulty. Like you catch 10 people, only one person here. Baki 9 people, they say, oh, you are just telling about your religion. I don't follow your religion. So our religion will be supported when we'll have a good king, good brahmanas who can guide people. Okay, listen to them. That is for the spiritual life. Because in Kali Yuga, there is no dharma. Only dharma is holy name. But to take to that holy name, one should be a human first. So that he can develop 24 hours of chanting, hearing, 64 limbs, 24 hours he can do. How can he do unless he's a human first? So these all things have to be considered. Okay, I think that it's okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is one follow-up question. Can I ask?
Yes.
Prabhuji, so say I am a Shudra and I know by some mercy or because of a seeker attitude, I undergo all these scriptures and because I am curious why I'm Shudra, so I understand your psychology and understanding like a seeker. I'm not a devotee, but I'm a seeker and I'm trying to understand. Okay, I'm a Shudra, but I don't want to accept my position as a Shudra. And a Brahmana who is trained and I'm not trained, then this attitude of this we are imposing or we are seeding this attitude in the people, and there is nowhere written that a Shudra cannot chant. So my question to you is how we will make that particular person understand that chanting is for you also, because I have seen people are understanding Krishna consciousness, those who are, we say Shudra as in caste. I'm not saying that about the caste, but those the people who are really Shudra, like learn it, but they're not taking Krishna consciousness. So yeah, so how
Okay.
you will
See, one thing, there is no bar for anyone taking chanting. Sudra, and then below him, Antaja, Panchama, everyone can take chanting, and we have to preach to everyone. Okay. Now, somebody not accepting his Varna, it is because of training, actually. See, very simple. I will give example. Everybody requires some respect. Now, people are feeling that what is this IT job? what is this all technological things. Prabhupada many times says it's a Sudra thing. Now people are doing Sudra job, but they don't want to accept the definition of Sudra. Okay, what does it mean? Because at certain civilization has come to a certain stage where people have removed the definition or the word, but they are doing because they have no varnashrama. So ultimately, all are not born in a proper way, no samskara. So they're Sudra only. They're Sudra. Even king is Sudra. Everybody is Sudra. So it is a great thing that everybody is Sudra today, and they have accepted their job also like that. And even though they're becoming king also, they're Sudra only. So where is the question of not accepting ourselves as Sudra? Only we are all Sudra, but we are not accepting. So it is a great advantage in one sense. And you are not all Brahmana, and then Brahmana has to be told that you are Sudra. Then he will become some egoistic. So in one sense, we are all doing that. We are all doing that work. So now the people have to be given education and told this is Sudra, this is Brahmana. Like today, if you say to people, you come to temple, you worship, I have a lot of work, I don't want to come. So why? Because education has been like that. You have to work hard like a donkey and earn money, then only you are successful and you are a great person. When you teach in education, this is donkey work. You should give time to God. Then it is a Brahmana. So you have to keep in your education who is higher, who is lower. So then people start understanding, they will change their view also. And you have to also teach this way, that Sudra is not lower in this sense. Sudra is also important part of the society. He's doing, because if no Sudra, then Brahmana cannot clean, Brahmana cannot do labor work. So everybody dependent on him. So everybody requires a respect and good education. If Sudras are respected properly, as we saw on Narad Muni 30, what is the quality? One should support, Said Bhishma Deva was saying, one should support one's servants. One should favor them. In the sense, one should support them, not just neglect the servants. So everybody should give certain respect and everybody should be educated. So what is the problem? If somebody is Sudra, they have a society of Sudras. They are doing their work and they're providing the products to the higher Varnas. There's no problem in this, actually. If tomorrow, if Guru says you are Sudra, so we should accept, okay, Gurudev, what is my work? Let me do. But Guru will never say to leave chanting. Sudra can also worship. Now this question was asked by Tamal Kis Goswami Maharaj to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, how to distinguish between this? If you are giving Brahman Diksha to somebody, okay, and then you are calling him Sudra, what is this? So see, there is a called Pancharatriki Vidhi. Pancharatriki Vidhi. So Pancharatrika Vidhi means what? So if the Guru is giving some Diksha, so he can worship. Then Prabhupada, is he not a Brahmana? So Prabhupada said this is another thing. Brahmana means unless he has a quality, he cannot be called Brahman. Okay. So now what is the initiation means? So in according to Hari Bhakti Vilas, there are different kinds. See, initiation, second initiation is for worshipping deities. Okay. So that is different for Kshatriyas, Vaishya and Brahmana. Different mantras are given. Actually, mantra means different procedures are told for Kshatriya, Vaishya according to Varnashrama. Hari Bhakti Vilas mentions that thing. So what does it mean? That a highest worshipper can go to temple and he can Brahmana and he can follow all the rituals and he can worship in temple. But other who are not Brahmana, they can worship in their homes according to the procedure provided in Hari Bhakti Vilas, whatever. So the initiation is there to worship the Lord. It is not immediately telling that you are a Brahmana. If you are really a Brahmana, then you follow the highest rituals and you also develop those qualities. But now, because Prabhupada started it very quickly, he said that Brahman means Brahman. But generally, it does not mean. Therefore, Prabhupada said, later sannyasis are falling down. If he is not a Brahmana and initiated also was Brahmana, sannyas Diksha also happened, still fallen down. Matlab what? What does it mean? So simply, Diksha also has to be supported by one's qualities first. Then the Diksha should be given accordingly. If he is Kshatriya, he should be given Kshatriya's kind of Diksha and worship. Yes. Why he should be made Brahmana unnecessarily? Dvija means what? Dvija applicable for everyone. Those, unless only Sudra is removed, Dvija is applicable for everyone, like Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. All are Dvija. They can read Vedic scripture, they can worship the Lord. All can do. But why Sudra not? Because Sudra basically means he's not ready to follow very high rules. So then how can he go to DT room? He can start worshipping. So then for him, you do some other thing. You chant holy name. You do take darshan of the Lord. So he will not be given that diksha. He cannot be dvija. Sanskaras are not for him actually. But by serving the higher societies, like higher people like Brahmana, Kshatriya, so they will find that. You will find such people like that. Everybody will not come to that stage of following the system. So they are Sudras, na? So we should keep them also. Why we are always, right now, everybody Sudras, now we are picking up people and making them Brahmana. So this is we are not able to understand this system. But when the Varnashrama is established properly, and then those who don't want to follow, keep them in Sudra category. And they will also accept, okay, I am like that, no issue. But right now, what is a mixture? Brahmana is also Sudra, Kshatriya also Sudra, all are doing Sudra job. So therefore, there is confusion how to establish. So it has to be established through education. Education has to be given first. And for that, people have to start proposing these thoughts more and more, in penetrating these thoughts more and more into education system, in government system. Somehow it has to be done, actually. Without that, unless the government takes it, unless the government of Varnashrama is established, it is very difficult to just, if you are simply preaching Krishna consciousness, and we are not able to create a good government, then it is, as Prabhupada mentioned, without Varnashrama, we cannot create good government. So then we cannot make a good, big change in the world. We can only create some devotees or brahmanas, but we will not be able to create a good king. Okay, this is some thought.
Yes, Prabhuji, very clear, and thank you so much for really very clarifying on all the doubts and to the point. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Eternally grateful to you for your answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very wonderful, insightful class on Varnashrama and how we can utilize it and implement it even in this current time of Kali Yuga. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So there is one comment, and from I would like to read for you, Prabhuji.
This is Utkarsh Parekh.
Yes, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. But even the Bhaktivedanta school in Mumbai is co-ed. They teach spiritual teaching, but cannot go beyond certain limit also. How can we establish Daiva Varnashram in the modern times? Even places where they tried 2-3 generation of devotees do not take up proper rules and regulations. Just an observation. Yeah, correct. See, whatever is going on. But Brahmana means knowledge. You have to distinguish between right and wrong. And we are going with adjusted situations of life. Okay, there are so many situations. So it does not means that becomes right. That is going on, theek hai. That is some attempt to give education to girls and boys together. But that is not perfect system. That is not going to be perfect. Very clear. Because otherwise we are reading Prabhupada books and we are not following Prabhupada books. When you are reading Prabhupada book, where Prabhupada has mentioned, anywhere you have found where Prabhupada established some co-ed education, never Prabhupada established. Prabhupada never allowed also. Prabhupada criticized it. So, okay, so we have been doing it, no problem. That is giving some facility to some people. But we should understand, okay, now we should grow from there ahead. Okay, yes, here this much, at least people are opening a school and teaching all nonsense. At least we are opening schools and teaching something good. They are learning some devotional things, and some will benefit. But then we have to look more beyond, because this will not solve the problem of society. We have to look more beyond. Now we have to create a solid man, solid woman, everything. Not at all lukewarm people. No, solid man, solid woman. Everybody should be situated in their dharma properly. Then for that, we have to begin that education. We have to search for that education. And then the training should begin. Now, some people may only want to open gurukulas for Brahmanas. Okay. So then Brahmanas. But if you want to open Gurukul only for Brahmana, you should also understand Brahmana also requires a Kshatriya to preach. So this should be the overall system. So there should be training for good Brahmana, good Kshatriya, good Vaishya. Varnashram college should be there. Then we can maintain a balance in the society. It means after so many years, we are still struggling to do that. But we must do that in future. How many Brahmana we have produced through Gurukulas? Who will for sure do Garbhadhan, who will for sure follow 30 qualities? How many? How many Kshatriyas we have created? We have not followed those instructions, or we have not done it till now. So let us have hope and try to do. Rather than saying what is going on in society, taking that as a ideal and then ignoring Prabhupada's instructions, who is our Acharya, founder Acharya, that is not good. So we appreciate everyone's endeavor, but we know where we have to go. And we should be ready for that. And it is possible, gradually it is possible. Okay, I may not be able to do, you may not be able to do. At least we can sow some seeds, like some people are doing that, some seeds they are sowing gradually. But it should be done, and one should be quite strong about it, that this should be established. Because as we are seeing nowadays, a lot of degradation in foreign, it's already there. In India also, so much it's coming. So much. So we need to give these educations. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very insightful session. Really, it's an eye-opening session, and I also currently, His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj is in Mangalore. So I was also attending his sessions on Make Vrindavan Villages. So I was connecting with the same kind of topics there also. So I was just curious, who is your spiritual master, Prabhuji?
Oh, Radhanath Maharaj. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. So today I attended the session in the morning and evening. I'm hearing the same topic, so I was just relating. Thank you. I also felt it is practically very, very important, though it's a very big challenge, but I understand the seriousness and also how fearful the current world is going on. And it is really, even if it is not immediately helpful for us, it will be helpful for the future generations and upcoming Vaishnavas, Maharajs. So they will have a place, environment to really cultivate bhakti.
How the Varnashrama, the whole process of Varnashrama is simple living, high thinking, because Varnashrama is a Brahmanical system. It's a Brahmanical culture. The highest Varna is Brahmana. So they set the ideal for all the lower Varnas. So that's why it's called Brahmanical culture in Varnashrama. And Brahmanas, they live simple. So therefore, the whole society lives simple. If the top leader is living simple, then the all will follow. So therefore, Varnashrama is going towards simple living and high thinking. High thinking because he has to go beyond this world, go to spiritual world. So he has to always be using his brain, that whether I'm following dharma or not, whether I'm following dharma or not. Huh? So one, like Prabhupada said, dharma, artha, kam, moksha. Huh? In Vedic times, everything began with dharma, whether it is my dharma or it's not my dharma. So people should be trained to think in that way. And for that, they should also be, so the simple living includes all these things. The people should be trained in the proper dharma, as a wife, as a husband, as a child, as a guru. Everybody should be known. These are the list of the items I have to follow. And if I'm not following, anybody can check me. The king can check me, oh, why you're not following, why you're not truthful, why you're not merciful. This should be talk among the human society. Why you're not merciful, why you're not truthful, and then we should say he's not educated. Don't give education degree just because you one had done BTech, MTech. Give education degree on this basis. Test the people. When the people are tested according to qualities, then people will advance. And it is not so difficult. Actually, if the higher people understand that we have to allow people according to their qualities. Because when the quality develops among people, that quality will develop according to dharma. If the people start following dharma properly, I have to Brahmana, I should follow. I should follow. I must follow. So then government has to first himself take dharma. So all these things lines up in one way that people should discuss about dharma. People should discuss this person did not follow. They are discussing newspaper. Now there are hundreds of unlimited wrong news, negative news are there which are based on adharma. So why people are spending time on reading adharma news? They should read how many people followed dharma. Oh, this person followed dharma in this situation. Why there are no news? Because there is no education. They are only following CBSE, ICSE, this board, that board. Useless. So education has to turn its face, turn its whole goal from giving simply degree on the basis of memorization, on the basis of job. They should turn the goal of education to develop qualities of humans among the people, qualities of humans and qualities of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these things. Very simple. And when the people will get these qualities, they will surely have a job, because the job is a simple living. Job is simple living. Okay. So yes, lot to be done from everyone's side. All devotees have to contribute in this.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That's awesome.
It's a lofty goal only. I'm not saying it's a Tom, Dick, Harry goal. It's a lofty goal. But as Prabhupada mentioned, you forget good government. And unless there's good government, we cannot be peaceful. So do we want to... Okay, anyway, everybody is thinking that I'm going back to Godhead now. So I don't worry about the world. But again, it's not easy going back to Godhead. We may again come here back. Then we may say that, oh, if 50 years back I could have worked for my country or my son, so I could have been a nice place to live.
Yes. Well, so back to Godhead, we are going to serve Krishna. So we are serving here Krishna in this way, making the place better. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very interesting subject and eye-opening subject. And we look forward for your association in the future sessions. If you permit, there are no questions or comments. We can end the call here, Prabhuji. We'll pay obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpataru vyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavane Vaishnavebhyo namaha.
Thank you,
की जय,
Prabhuji.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, His Grace Arjun प्रभु जी की जय, हरे कृष्ण।
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
ग्रंथराज
Hare
श्रीमद्
Krishna.
भागवतम की
Ki
जय।
Jai.